Leyton Orient 1-2 Man City. Pep Guardiola's side survive a scare to progress to FA Cup fifth round after the hosts took an unlikely lead at Brisbane Road. De Bruyne's late heroics saved Manchester City from FA Cup shock against Leyton Orient. The goal that will be remembered for years in this corner of East London, the one that will cement its place in Leyton Orient's rich history, was not Kevin De Bruyne's winner. It wasn't even scored by an Orient player. Instead, it was an unfortunate own goal by Manchester City goalkeeper Stefan Ortega, the result of an extraordinary 50-yard strike by Jamie Donley. The on-loan Tottenham starlet unleashed a breathtaking effort that crashed off the crossbar, ricocheted off Ortega's back as he scrambled to recover, and found its way into the net. That moment set Brisbane Road, now the Gone Group Stadium, alight, with fans erupting in celebration from the balconies of the flats overlooking the pitch. It also gave Richie Wellens and his League One side real belief that they could pull off one of the biggest FA Cup upsets and add to the frustrations of Pep Guardiola and his Premier League champions. For a long stretch, that belief held firm. Orient led at halftime and remained level until the 79th minute when Guardiola, forced to dig deep, turned to De Bruyne and Phil Foden from the bench. By then, City had most of their first-team stars on the pitch, and their top-tier quality ultimately made the difference. Grit and determination from Leyton Orient. Despite City's victory, Orient delivered a heroic performance. They were still pushing for an equalizer in the closing moments, with captain Dan Happ coming close but volleying wide at the back post. Their impressive form in this competition dates back to the second round when goalkeeper Josh Keeley scored a dramatic late equalizer against Oldham, a goal that ignited their season and pushed them toward the League One playoff race. Manchester City, meanwhile, arrived in East London flaunting their financial muscle. They introduced 3 new signings, totaling £140 million, as a reminder of the vast gap between the two clubs. Among them was 23-year-old Porto midfielder Gonzalez, who filled in for Rodri until an injury forced him off in the first half. Also making his debut was teenage Brazilian centre-back Vitor, who likely hadn't envisioned such a challenging baptism when he joined from Palmeiras. Guardiola rotated his attack, resting Erling Haaland and deploying Omar Marmush as the central striker, flanked by Savinho and Jack Grealish. The latter registered City's first attempt of the game, cutting in from the left before drilling a low shot into the advertising boards. Ilkay Gundogan then scuffed a better chance, failing to dampen Orient's early momentum. Donley's moment of brilliance, Leyton Orient, unfazed by City's stature, troubled their young defense early on. QPR loanee Charlie Kelman led the charge, constantly pressing and unsettling City's backline. He even forced Ortega into a save after bursting past Reece on a swift counterattack. Kelman played a key role in the opener, winning possession from Gonzalez in midfield. Donley reacted instantly, striking the ball with his left foot from nearly 50 yards. The stadium collectively held its breath as the ball soared, kissed the crossbar, and ricocheted off Ortega into the net, an astonishing goal that sent the home crowd into euphoria. City players appealed for a foul on Gonzalez, but with no VAR until the next round, the referee let play stand, and the celebrations continued. Wellens, who had started the match in the stands, came down to the touchline to reinforce his team's defensive shape as City began to monopolize possession. Orient defended resolutely, packing their penalty area, cutting off passing lanes, and throwing bodies in front of shots. They also cleverly disrupted City's rhythm, much to Guardiola's visible frustration as he voiced his complaints to the fourth official. Keeley produced a stunning save before halftime, denying Marmush from close range when it seemed inevitable he would score. Even under sustained pressure, Orient still threatened on the break. Sonny Perkins lashed a shot over after a well-executed counter, and Ortega had to react quickly to block a deflected Donley effort following a corner. City's second-half fightback. At halftime, Guardiola responded decisively, replacing both his centre-backs. Off went Reece and Ruben Dias, on came Abdulkader Kuzanov and John Stones. Kuzanov, just 2 weeks removed from a difficult debut against Chelsea, quickly made his presence felt, cutting out a Perkins cross destined for Kelman at the back post. The Uzbek defender then played a pivotal role at the other end, albeit unintentionally. In the 56th minute, Rico Lewis fired a shot toward goal, and Kuzanov, trying to evade it, inadvertently deflected the ball past Keeley to level the score. It was a lucky break for City, but it didn't shift the game's dynamic. Orient stayed compact, choosing their counterattacks wisely. Kelman nearly restored the lead from a well-struck Donley free-kick at the near post and forced another Ortega save with a powerful effort. City, meanwhile, grew increasingly frustrated. James McAtee, who had netted a hat-trick in the third round against Salford, curled an effort just wide from the edge of the box. Keeley remained busy, denying Gundogan as City pushed for a breakthrough. Finally, Guardiola turned to his match winners. De Bruyne and Foden entered, and 12 minutes from time, the Belgian maestro delivered. Receiving a pass from Jack Grealish, he delicately clipped a shot beyond Keeley, sealing City's place in the fifth round and sparing them from a humiliating exit. While City now look ahead to a Champions League clash with Real Madrid, Orient shift their focus back to League One and an upcoming game against Mansfield. Though their FA Cup journey has ended, their fearless performance against the champions will be remembered for years to come.